expressing with their ears, showing what they're thinking about and who they're listening to or what they're listening to. You can see that a horse is paying attention to something in front of them when their ears are fairly pointed forward. They might be pretty aggressive forward if they're really intent on something. They also might be just tentatively forward if they're looking at a person walking by or another horse. Horses can also turn their ears in about 180 degrees to the side if they're looking at something or thinking about something that is to the side of them or even behind them. Might be a rider that's sitting on the horse that's asking the horse to make some movement. The horse will actually turn their ear back as a signal that they're paying attention to the rider. If they're happy, their ears are pretty relaxed and they're just generally out to the side or pointing forward. If the horse is upset or in a bad mood, they'll typically put their ears back and point them back, and that says, I'm not happy, I am not pleased right now. If their tail is swishing around a lot very aggressively, that's another sign that they're not happy. Usually tails are either resting or just sort of swaying back and forth, swatting at a fly, but otherwise pretty relaxed. Impatience comes a lot from the swishing of the tail. Let's get on with this. Why are we just standing here? As well as being very fidgety. A horse that's impatient tends to not stand in the same place. They tend to move a lot. Because they're herd animals, horses are very much akin to having friendships or having relationships with other horses especially. If a horse is left without anybody, they'll take to a person or a goat. In most cases, horses enjoy being at least with one other horse because of that herd aspect. Every horse is a little different in terms of how important that is to them or how much they need that. Some horses, like Chagall, are pretty easygoing and don't need other horses on a regular basis. He plays a lot with his friends that live right next to him, but if he's separated from them, it doesn't affect his mood or his personality. Other horses are very attached. There are two horses here at the barn that like to be close to each other all the time and will actually call back and forth if they're separated because they feel such an attachment together. So just like people, some folks like to have friends all the time. Other folks like to have a lot of their individual time. Horses are like that. They're very social creatures. So in most cases, their entertainment comes from interacting with other horses. A horse that's left alone without any other horses or people tends to be very bored. Horses tend to play with a horse next to them. They like to interact with their faces. It might even look like they're trying to bite each other, but it's actually a game that we call bitey face. Some horses also enjoy toys, like a dog would enjoy toys. There are large balls, rubber balls that have plastic handles on them, and a lot of horses enjoy playing with those. They'll pick them up with their mouth and throw them up. They might even pass it between themselves and another horse if given the opportunity, just as a little game to be entertaining. That's usually what they do when they want to get excited and have some fun, but aren't in a work situation. Horses tend to sleep standing up. It's the best position for them in terms of how their body is built, but also looking at horses as a prey animal, they always need to be in a position where they feel that they could escape from a bad situation. While our domesticated horses aren't very often needing to escape while they're sleeping, they still genetically are brought up that way. When a horse sleeps, their body can actually lock their legs so that as they're asleep, they don't crumple to the ground. They actually lock them together. But if something were to happen and they needed to run immediately, they could wake up and be running within a second. Some horses tend to lie down, especially those of them that are in barns or otherwise domesticated. They only lie down when they feel very comfortable. If you see a horse lying down and they're sleeping, it's usually because they've decided that there isn't a safety risk and there's no reason they need to get up and run very quickly. Also, being herd animals, the horses will take turns sleeping. So one horse may sleep either standing up or lying down, and the horse next to him is awake on call, watching out for the situation.